بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون ونشكره ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو مهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن حبيبنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم عبده ورسوله أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا اللهم ارزقنا شفاعة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا تحرمنا صحبته إنك أنت أرحم الراحمين وأما بعد عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي المذنبات أولا بتقوى الله عز وجل يقول الله عز وجل في كتابه المبين يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يقول الله عز وجل إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. Beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, in these very brief moments that we have, we would like to discuss one of the noble traits of character and how it relates to who we should associate with, who we should actively keep company with, and the importance of who we keep company with as it relates to our own spiritual states. He subhanahu wa ta'ala said in his glorious book, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu ittaqullaha wa kunu ma'as-sadiqin. O you who believe, have the proper awe, the proper regard, the proper consciousness for Allah, and be with the truthful people. And be with the truthful people. And there are different shades of meaning in regards to this. Firstly, for us, Sahabi Jalil Abdullahi ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu. He said in regard to this that of the meanings, kunu ma'as-sadiqin also carries the meaning of kunu minas-sadiqin. Being with the truthful people means being of the truthful people. And it's also said that this ayah of the Quran, he says, is a clear indication of it being forbidden to lie or to be involved in deceitful truth or deceitful speech, or what's called al-kadhib in the Arabic language. So this is the first implication for us, is that we should strive to embody that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded for us, and that those people who are keeping company with us, that we should be truthful ourselves. And this truthfulness has two shades. It has truthfulness in qawl wa fi'l. It's truthfulness in speech, but there's also truthfulness in action. An indication of this relates to the inaugural Khutbah of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhi, when he said, as-sidqul amana wa kadhibu khiyana. As-sidqul amana wa kadhibu khiyana. Truth is sidq. Truthfulness is also amana, keeping your trust, keeping your promise. So is truthfulness in speech, also truthfulness in our amana. And he said, but lying is khiyana, lying is treachery, lying is breaking your promise. Lying relates to the actions of doing other than that which is sound, which is truthful. So there's a relationship of sidq, not only in lisan or in speech, but also in our actions. Now, in regards to who we keep company with, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this very clear, and it's an imperative command, fi'l al-amr, in regards to our suhbah. Who we actively keep company with. So we don't have the total control over who we work with in the workplace, or who we have a class with in school, like for some of you high school students or middle school students, or even some of you elementary school students I see in here right now. When you're sitting in the classroom, perhaps you don't have the authority of where you can sit. If you have to work with someone in a workstation, you have to do what you have to do. But in regards to the inclination of your heart and who you actively seek companionship with, company with, be it eating lunch, for regular social gatherings, you do have some control, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you and me some agency in regards to that. So we are to actively look out the people of truthfulness, and to stay away from those people who in their speech and in their deed have shown themselves to be untrustworthy, or to not be, as what we would say, legit to be around. Al-Khalifatul Rashid Ali ibn Abi Talib, karramallahu ta'ala wajha. May Allah ennoble his countenance. In a line of poetry, he said, do not actively seek companionship. Do not actively keep companionship with al-jahl, with an ignorant person. You can say ignorant brother, or to include the sisters, an ignorant sister. Don't actively seek or reach out companionship with someone who is ignorant. Now, of course, all of us have what is called al-jahl basit. All of us have a level of simple ignorance because we don't know everything. Allahu Azza wa Jal is al-alim. He's the one who knows it all. There are things that we are not going to know. But the difference between someone who has al-jahl al-basit and al-jahl murakkab is someone who is ignorant. And in their speech and their actions, they think that they know, but they really don't know, and they double down on their ignorant speech or their ignorant actions. This is what Abu Jahl was. He was Abu Jahl, we could say al-Murakabi, right? He's the father of ignorance. He personifies this. Of the ignorant speeches and actions that we do, that Al-Hasan al-Basri, at-Tabi Jalil, Rahmatullahi alayhi, Hasan al-Basri, one of the great scholars of the second generation of Muslims, one of the stars of this ummah, he warned us, for instance, and this is an example, right? Because when we're talking about kunu mina sadiqeen and kunu ma'a sadiqeen, of the sadiqeen, all people who say they're Muslims, or identify Muslims, are not mina sadiqeen. Right? All Muslims are not truthful in speech and action. Just being around Muslims many times isn't enough. It is the akhlaq and the character of the people who we are around. Al-Hasan al-Basri, rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, gave us a warning in regards to ghibah. This is one example in regards to the speech that's not sound that people are involved in, speech that goes against the sharia, right? And reflects bad character, al-ghiba. And ghiba, by the way, is different from namima, or blameworthy gossip, slandering gossip. But most things that we call ghiba is really namima, in its haqiqah, in its reality. Ghiba is when you say something about a person, about their personal business, and it's not exactly false, but it is something that's uncovering something that the person would not want disclosed to everyone in public, that's not needed to know. Talking about people behind their back, about personal things or mistakes that they would not want divulged, in which there is no immediate public interest to divulge that. That's ghiba. Namima is when you're gossiping or talking about someone, right? And there's some lies mixed in with that, right? And the more tales travel, the more untruth gets mixed into it. That's why I said most things that we call ghiba are actually namima. Al-Hasan al-Basri, rahmatullahi ta'ala, said, the one who listens to the ghiba, the one who actively listens to the ghiba, and the one who's committing the ghiba, they are both associates in the ghiba. In other words, the person who actively listens to the ghiba gets the similar sin to the one who is committing the ghiba. Why? Because as the saying goes in America, it takes two to tango. If we're sitting around someone who's gossiping and backbiting all the time, if we removed ourselves from that companionship, who would they have to gossip and backbite with? But we sit there and we actively keep company with them, and we don't stop people when they're gossiping about. Say, please stop talking about this. Don't stop talking about this. Or you listen to it and just stay silent, or it gets juicy for you. Even though the Quran says it's like eating the flesh of your dead brother or your dead sister. But it seems to be juicy, so you want to hear some of the juicy talk. Haram. So let's be careful, my brothers and sisters in Islam. Who we keep company with, what type of associations that we have, what are the type of associations that we organize for our children and who they are around. Let us strive to be the people of sidq, and let's associate with the people of sidq. And inshallah, if we associate and keep suhbah with the people of sidq, that this will help us in our ahwal or our spiritual states to strengthen us and strengthen us. Allahumma ij'alna min as-sadiqin. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله القائل إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على نبينا وأسوتنا محمد المصطفى وعلى آله الأصفياء وصحبه الأتقياء والتابعين لهم بخير وإحسان إلى اليوم الجزاء. وأما بعد، اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن تواليت وبلغ لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت إنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يذل من وليت ولا يعز من أديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت ولك الحمد على ما قضيت. نستغفرك ونتوب إليك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك نستغفرك ونتوب إليك ونؤمن بك ونتوكل عليك. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات ومسلمين ومسلمات الأحياء منهم وأموات. اللهم أصلح أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم فرج عن أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم ارحم أمة محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا دائما أبدا. سبحان ربك بالعزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.